Iron Man is the face of Marvel. He is the foundation of the MCU, and yet Marvel barely talks about his trilogy. Unlike Captain America, unlike Spider-Man, no, not you. You rarely hear anyone celebrate the Iron Man trilogy. If you watched my last video, you'd know that Iron Man 1 absolutely changed superhero movies forever. Now that movie was extremely electric. But Iron Man 2 is where things get a bit messy. On the surface, it's a story about Tony Stark facing mortality. Literally. He's dying for like half of the movie.
You were gonna tell me you really were dying?
You didn't let me.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I was gonna make you an omelet and tell you.
But underneath all of... how do I put this nicely? It's world building. It's a really special story that Jon Favreau wanted to tell. It's a story about the constant threats to the Stark legacy that Tony has to juggle, along with finding a way to reinvent himself and the world around him. Now Iron Man 3 is a new take on Tony Stark and the Iron Man suit. We see him manage his troubles and trauma by simplifying things.
You're a mechanic, right? Why don't you just build something?
Now, despite the heartfelt messages and themes on how Tony was able to heal from his trauma, these movies were slammed by the critics and fans alike. So why is that? You know how I mentioned that strong story hidden inside of Iron Man 2? Well, on the surface, we're introduced to multiple new things. Nick Fury, Black Widow, and S.H.I.E.L.D. Suddenly, this movie is building up to the Avengers movie. And you might think, oh, that's just some cool extra stuff on the side for us to enjoy. But look again, this is a sign that this sequel stopped being about Tony for a small bit. Now Iron Man 3 takes these criticisms and swings it the other way. Tony is stripped down, he's haunted by his past, and he's alone. It looks like the trilogy is back on its feet, going in the right direction. And then...
it was always me, Tony. Right from the start. I am the Mandarin!
I'm sorry, there's just no world where this works for me. And I am just so grateful for the movie Shang-Chi existing because it fixed all of that. When you think of some of the great villains the MCU has produced, who do you think of? Thanos? The Winter Soldier? Loki? Are you noticing anything? There's no Iron Man villains. So that begs the question, what even makes a good villain? On paper, Tony has gone against some pretty mean guys. Obadiah Stane essentially groomed Tony for 20 years, squeezing out every creative juice he could for some profit. Whiplash is a revenge-fueled genius wanting to tear down everything the Starks have built. Aldrich Killian wanted to take control over the American people through manipulation and corruption. Villains are supposed to be the measuring stick for a hero's journey. The trilogy teaches you to expect that these villains matter, but in the end, they really don't. My biggest issue was how Stane was so okay with all this public destruction and terrorism in the final act of the movie. Whiplash is completely underused, and Tony doesn't even know he's alive for about 20 minutes.
I am the Mandarin!
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Now, despite the crappy villains, I really like how Iron Man 3 leaps off of Tony's previous appearance in the Avengers movie. This movie is honestly one of my favorites, and it brought a lot of great perspective to Tony as a character.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you. I've seen the footage. The only thing you really fight for is yourself. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
But we see Tony understands what it means to be a hero as much as Cap and the rest do. There's no question about it. Not just this movie, but multiple projects, we see he truly is a hero trying to make the world a better place regardless of what may happen to him. We see him worry for the future of the world as he tries to create a preventative measure in Age of Ultron. Now, as a result of that, Tony sees that even though they're doing a lot of good, a lot of collateral damage is happening as an effect, giving us the Sokovia Accords in Civil War. Tony is trying to improve. These are all moments that define Tony Stark as a hero, but they barely happen in his own movies. While Tony does have some heroic feats, it isn't to the same extent that we see in these large group movies. Speaking of other movies, why do we talk about other trilogies over Iron Man? The Captain America trilogy is about change and dealing with the pain of nostalgia. The Spider-Man trilogy is essentially a reworking of his origin story. We see him take inspiration from the people around him. We see their power and how they choose to use it. And sure, was it a bit of a mess, but it ended up having a lot of memorable moments, whether that's a good thing or not. Even the Guardians trilogy is a family story and shows the impact and importance loved ones can have on an individual. These are all great stand-together trilogies following this kid-parent structure, some more literal than others. This structure allows each individual movie to stand alone while also having this grand overarching story on top of it. And while I agree, yes, Iron Man 3 does give some of that closure to the character, it was inconsistent at times, and by the time his third movie came out, Marvel was not ready to let go of the character. Age of Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, all really good movies. But as a wise man once said, some cows must be milked. Okay, I made that up, but you get what I'm saying. Overall, the Iron Man trilogy is a genuinely beautiful story about a man reinventing himself to better the world, but that's just not what Marvel saw. Despite all the issues, his movies is still a beloved character that everyone loves, and Marvel can't deny it. So why not embrace it? Oh, what the fuck?